Hello there. Thank you for joining me on your Soaraway Q Sports show on Ascent Television. My name is Jide Olaniran. On today's show, we will be looking at the Chinese 8-ball pool, but this time around from the perspective of a South African. And joining me via Zoom is our man, Alison Sibanda, all the way from South Africa. We'll be going on a short break now, and when we come back, the conversation starts immediately. Don't go away.
The Snooker and Pool Players Alliance ranks players on a computerized system that gathers data and creates a ladder which illustrates the player's proficiency by a numeric value. As a platform for talent discovery and development, it creates a pathway to the global stage. Visit www.snookerpoolplayersalliance.org or call 080 229 20228.
So, guys, let's get to South Africa where Alison Sibanda is joining us. Alison, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'd like to give a good greeting to everyone who's watching. I'm very much alive and staying safe in these very trying times. We know the pandemic that's going around, but I'm very much safe and sound. Thank you for having me.
All right. Yes, good to hear that. Thank you very much for that one, Alison. Alison, the first time I heard about you was last year. That was the year the pandemic struck, because you guys were in the middle of trying to organize the World Championship. That is talking about the Chinese 8-ball pool championship in South Africa. If I may ask you, how did it feel that you guys couldn't go ahead?
It was devastating, my friend. It was devastating. We tried to live in denial in the beginning. We thought, no, we can still pull this, Our head office in China told us, guys, you can't go on with the plans right now. And we're like, no, but this thing is not in Africa yet. It's not here. We can still pull it out. They said, no, you know what? You're not going to accept the reality. And I was like, okay, well, that's what's there. But it was very devastating. We went to the venue. We went to the theater where we were going to do the opening ceremony. We could feel it, we could see it happening, but unfortunately we had to cancel it. We had to postpone it to an unknown date, unfortunately. So it really crushed us.
Anyway, I must say that was for us, it was good fortune for us in Nigeria, because actually we were also thinking of coming over to South Africa. But because of the short notice, we were trying to grapple with a whole lot of things. And the postponement, I must say, you might not like it, actually favor us in Nigeria. That's just an aside anyway. But let's talk about how did the Chinese 8-ball pool birth in South Africa? How did the dream start?
It's been 3 years now in South Africa, 3 years. It came through from the first time they broke through. They came through the Holiday Brothers, and the Holiday Brothers played their part. And then we, as Joy decided to open a Joy branch in South Africa, which myself and a colleague called Fabian Maestri headed, and still, obviously, we still at it at the moment. So it's been quite a roller coaster, trying to introduce the sport, trying to put out the tables in the whole country. It's a challenge, but an exciting challenge where that it's not simple, but you got to do it, and in the end you're gonna reap the rewards. It's such a challenge to teach people that pool is a sport that can be played anywhere. It's not a bar sport. It's not a sport that can only be played in drinking halls only. It's a sport that can actually build you, that can people can work around it and build careers around it. So people love the game. The game is exciting. I mean, it's a bigger table. The tables, our tables look very fancy. They look so exquisite. You know, they look beautiful. We've got two types of tables: the Q5 tables, which got a similar look to the snooker table, and we've got a Bing table, which is coin operated. It's white in color, but very, very nice. People are excited when they see the table. They just want to play. But obviously, with venues, they have to make sure they've got adequate space because our tables are quite big. You know, you need a space, you need a radius of 6 meters by 4.5 meters. So people do accept and want to play the sport, but the space is limited. So the challenge has always been to make people remove a blackboard table. Like, well, they have to remove two small tables and put one big table, you know. So it's a challenge for them because they think, well, I've got a table that's tried and tested. Now I'm going to put a table that's not tried and tested, you know. So it's been, that's been the challenge. But you know, we've had promotions that have helped us to infiltrate the market. You know, we've had car comps, we've had a couple of different competitions as well that have boosted us in the process. Yeah, so the acceptance levels are still obviously going up. They're still rising, but we're not where we want to be yet. But I'm sure we're going to get there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but you already chipped that in. I was going to ask you about the strategy of getting into the market that you guys have employed, really. But yes, let's come to one of the strategies. You guys have decided you host competitions or you reach out to clubs and all that. Then how big are those competitions and what are those competitions, if you could talk me through them?
All right, so for the past year and a half, we've given away 13 cars. 13 cars. We're running a competition in conjunction with a company called Bike that we're obviously promoting their brand as well. So we're running a promotion where we were giving away a car every month. So the three main cities in South Africa, Cape Town, Durban, and Joburg, is where we were hosting the events, and we had a minimum of 100 to 120 participants each shot coming from the different parts of South Africa. So these tournaments were meant to reward whoever has got our tables could send us two people per table. You understand? So they could run a mini qualifier in their club just to raise more awareness and build interest. So they will run a mini qualifier and then people will qualify and then they'll come to wherever the tournament is. So we're giving away a car that's worth 180,000 Rand every month, you know, with other prices as well included in it. So that's how we've been promoting it. The excitement was so real, you know, to win a car from playing one frame, you know, is something that any pool player would want to do. So we had everyone trying their luck, you know. So it's been, unfortunately, we had to come to a halt because of the COVID, where we can't do public tournaments. So to replace that, we've been doing what we call a virtual tournament. So we do a home edition tournament where people can play from the comfort of their homes. So we've been pushing people to get tables for their homes. It's a concept that's very exciting, based on a break and finish concept. So you can play from anywhere against anyone. So that's been going on well as well, where we give away 10,000 Rand every month, and yeah, it's been coming along. We do 5 stages, and then the 6th one we give we do a grand finale where we give 100,000 Rand. So yeah, home makeover. So it's been, you know, we've had to think outside the box and say, what do we do for our people that loyal to us? So we've got to give them something every month. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Of course, that's nice. And the last time I spoke to Tony actually told me about the fact that for the Chinese 8-ball pool, you've got about 4 countries now: South Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. And the idea of the African tour was muted. And according to Tony, there's something being done about that. Are you guys going to be preparing? Maybe I should just get an information from you as far as South Africa will be preparing for the for the African tour?
Look, I think obviously it would never be an African tour without South Africa, because we are obviously the leader of Chinese pool in our continent, you know, in that we've got the most tables and we've got the most players, obviously, and we've got players that actually go out there internationally and represent us as well. So definitely, when the timing is right, when the timing is perfect, we are definitely going to be a part of an African tour, definitely.
Is there like a ranking system? Because right here in Nigeria, we are beginning to have a ranking system in place. I don't know whether that is obtainable in South Africa too.
Yes, it is. There's events where people are ranked. You know, we have something like South African Championships. We do have other comps that are played in provinces, different provinces. But from that, people get to be ranked. So yes, we do rank our players. We know who's number 1 ranked, who's number 2 ranked, etc. So yes, definitely.
Of course, maybe I should take you back to the botched World Championship. So where you left it with some of the sponsors, I know that there were a lot of sponsors who were so excited to be part of it. Are you still engaging them to make sure that you're on the same page?
Look, everything right now is just frozen temporarily until we know what's happening with the pandemic, you know, because we can't give anyone a date or a time at the way things stand. So it's something that we know that when the timing comes up again, when it's right, I mean, we'll resume, because it was big for everyone. Trust me, it was going to be big for everyone, for the sponsors, for all that were going to be involved in the World Cup. It was a massive event which would impact on different businesses and different lives as well. So definitely, we will always stay in touch with our potential sponsors and people that were willing to be a part of it. Definitely, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the niche market. Before I let you go, let's talk about the niche market. Now, I know that we've seen women also play this game. I don't know whether there is, maybe it's different in South Africa, but I know, let me ask you, what's the reaction from the women folk?
Look, we've got a decent number of women playing Chinese pool. At this point in time, I would say it's about 20 to 30%. In ratio of men against women, and I think it's just a matter of time before it's actually equal, because we do have women that are doing pretty well. If I'm to mention one player who's doing exceptionally well in the sport, her name is Elzat Kuhn. She's a signed Joy player. I mean, she's done a lot for the sport as an ambassador and as a player. She's won a car before in one of our car comps, and she won the 100,000 rand home makeover in December as well. So she stands her own ground, you know. So all our comps and all our promos are meant to encourage everyone to play, and we do give ladies a 1 ball advantage in everything that we do, you know, so just so that they can be at par with everyone. So I believe that women will play a lot of Chinese as we continue, but we do promote that. We want them to be a part of it as well, big part of it.
Well, I know the youth market is also very critical to the growth of the sport. So what are you doing in terms of these young people, talking about the youth segment of the South Africa?
Look, we obviously going to start projects where we're going to go into schools, place our tables in schools, and start nurturing the talent from schools, you know. So we've got target schools that we've got already, of which we've been, obviously, everything was hampered by the COVID situation. So we've got plans to go into schools and add Chinese pool as a discipline. So from there, that there's no grassroots level that can beat being in schools, so that's the intent right now. So as soon as everything is stabilized, everyone is safe and feeling okay, then obviously we attack schools and we do coaching clinics. We have our great players in South Africa, likes of Jason Tiron, Sandile Madlala, Richard Holidays, all those people. We will engage with them to at least go and do coaching clinics and just help raise more awareness. So that will grow the sport on its own, because if a child plays at school, they'll want the table at home, and or they'll ask their parents to take them to a club. So the ripple effect will be that. So we want to grow the sport. And in saying that, we are proud that we've got a couple of juniors that do exceptionally well, that really do well, that have played in major competitions, that are standing their ground as well. In February 2020, we had a youngster, 11-year-old from Cape Town, Taufik Murray, winning a car in a field of 120 players. The youngster, with a 2-ball advantage, of course, went all the way to win a vehicle. So that's big. So we don't close anyone out.
Well. Alison, you guys are doing great, and I'm looking forward to a true nation face-to-face or two-nation face-off between Nigeria and South Africa in the course of this relationship. But I want to wish you all the best. Thanks for joining me on the show today, and I look forward to more conversation, and hopefully after the pandemic, we can celebrate, and as well, we can go to the table as well.
Of course, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Anytime you want to speak to me, no problem. You can get a hold of me and I will assist.
All right. Thank you very much. That's it. I've been talking to the promoter of Chinese 8-ball pool in South Africa, Alison Sibanda, who's been trying to give us the 411 as far as how the sport is doing in South Africa. That is it for this edition. As always, you can join me for another edition, and it will be an eye-popping one. Until I come again, Jide Olaniran is my name. See you next time.